And today, when a predator gets caught in the act,
she forced me to drink the alcohol and tobacco, and that's when she started touching me.
La niña quería, dijo, la niña quería que lo hiciera. Le dije,
she
no es cierto,
said,
es una niña, tú eres una adulta.
How old was she?
11.
them niggas come in all shapes, sizes, and forms, bro. This is now, I want to say, the second female predator video that I've seen so far. And you know what's crazy? I heard, like, women, they get away with, I mean, I said, you know, that's crazy, as if it's not common knowledge. But bro, female preds, they low-key might outnumber the male ones, dude. Check me out. We see the cases, the male cases, you know. Before a guy, you know, I'm talking to the dudes in the chats. Dudettes, off to the side right quick. You know, when you were in elementary, middle school, high school, bro, you and your homies low-key had a whole tier list. Which teachers were the cutest, the baddest, which teachers y'all wouldn't mind, you know what I'm saying? And if it just so happened, because it does happen at different schools, not mine though. If it just so happened that you and that teacher that you had a crush on cracked, nigga, you wearing that shit like a badge of honor, even though you just got taken advantage of. We don't hear those stories, bro.
When a woman notices her sister is nowhere to be found after a house party, a light on in the bathroom tells her something isn't right. But when she finally makes it inside, the scene leaves her and police reeling.
Touch her.
The following is based on official police records, and the footage has never been seen before until now. Around 4:30 a.m. on March 22, 2020, officers in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
I'm sorry, I'm not gonna lie. I might be cracking a smile a little bit, but it's just cause I hear the Spanish, I hear the accent, and I'm just like, damn.
Were dispatched to a local home after receiving a report about child abuse. Once they arrive, they're immediately met by the victim's older sister, Claudia, whose name has been changed to protect her identity.
Hi.
Hi.
Did you call us?
Yes, I did.
Okay. How can I help you?
We were asleep, and I had a friend staying here. She's like 30 years old. Apparently, she woke up my sister. She's 11 years old.
Okay.
And she took her to the restroom and tried to do something to her.
Claudia explained she was having a party at her home that evening with a few friends when she discovered one of those friends in the bathroom with her little sister Mila, whose name has also been changed.
Wow.
One officer takes Mila into a back bedroom to ask her what happened, and what she says can only be described as a waking nightmare.
And again, sorry for the second pause, but bro, I am starting to understand, you know, why parents nowadays are like, yo, you're not sleeping over at any of your friend's house. Nigga, this is a house party, and you legit got taken advantage of. Now, imagine you're not even in the same house. You're at the stranger's house with your friends, but their parents doing who knows what. You know, because growing up, nigga, if it wasn't every Friday night, it was every other Friday night. I was at the homies. Now, thankfully, I was one of the lucky ones. Nothing weird ever happened. But, you know, I would kind of feel a bit odd, a bit, you know, upset when I'd go ask my mom, like, yo, can I, you know, go to the bro's house? And she would, like, be standoffish. And I'm like, yo, it's the homie. We go over there, we play games, eat pizza, have a good-ass time. Not, you know, realizing, but I realize it now, like, at that time, it was kind of like, yo, you're my son. I don't know what y'all are doing over there. I know every time you come back, you know, it's, you never want to leave, you want to stay another day. I get it, but it's like, I'm not there. I don't know what's going on. And it's like, yo, when it's my turn to have kids, you know, I ain't even gonna lie. I might be on that same type of time then.
I know you're scared. The ambulance is going to come check you out. Just tell me what happened, okay?
So, I was asleep. The woman,
Yeah.
I don't know her name.
Okay.
She woke me up, and she took me to the restroom.
This one?
Yes, right there.
Okay.
She gave me alcohol, and she gave me tobacco. I don't know what she did.
Did she like force it?
Or yes.
The woman Mila is describing as 28-year-old Jamie Sandoval Gonzalez. She'd been planning on spending the night, but Claudia kicked her out once she discovered her in the bathroom.
And imagine if that bitch spent the night. 28 years old, bro, and you trying to fuck with your friends. I don't even know how this happens, bro. And you know what's crazy? And it's not crazy, but it's crazy because it's like hitting me in a different way. You know something, you've heard something before, but then you hear it again in a different way, and it kind of, hits different, it hits deeper. Like, yo, these people fucking exist. Like, you could be friends with one of them, and you would never know until it's too late.
And that's when she started touching me.
Mila's story is gut-wrenching, but as she continues, it's clear that she has yet to describe the worst of her horrific experience.
She got naked too?
Yeah.
Okay.
She didn't take off her pants or anything, but she just took off her shirt and her bra.
Mila goes on to explain that she has no idea how long she was in that bathroom, but eventually her sister came to her rescue.
Wow.
So I woke up and I saw the light of this restroom on. So I started knocking and I heard the shower thing on. So I'm like, who's it? She's like, it's me. And then I heard my sister, I'm using the restroom, hold on.
Your sister said, this little one said she used the restroom.
So that bitch was like, yo, don't tell I'm in here. And it's like, yo, they're young and impressionable, bro. It's sickening, bro. Because you have these cases, like, in some people's minds, it's like, oh, you're in distress. Why, whenever you hear, someone coming to help, the police, a kind stranger, your family, why don't you let them know, like, what's going on? But for some of these kids, bro, it's like, if you tell them the right thing, they'll do this. Like, we've even heard cases, like, I remember seeing one. Homie, he didn't steal her, but, like, he was grooming her. And he was taking her to Las Vegas, taking her there. They got pulled over. And she was legit lying to the cops, like, no, I know this guy, cool, I'm this old, we haven't done anything, yada yada. And it's like, bro, this is grooming. This is the predator telling, this kid, this young one, like, yo, if you tell the truth, like, I'm gonna do something to you. Or whatever they say. I don't know their fucking tactics. But it's crazy that it fucking works. And it's heartbreaking, bro.
Yeah. And then I opened it with the keys and she wouldn't let me, the older one. Then I'm like, open the door, I need to go in there. What are you guys doing? I opened the door and my sister was sitting on the toilet. And I saw she was wearing red lipstick.
The lady?
So I saw my sister full of red lipstick all over her face. So I'm like, are you kissing her or what's going on? And my sister wouldn't tell me nothing. She was like in shock. Like, I'm like, what's wrong with you? What are you doing here? She's like, she made me come into the restroom. No, and I told her off. I'm like, why did you do this? She's a little girl. You have kids too. Because she has two boys.
And that's just another puzzling area. I don't know what these statistics are, what the numbers are, but with these cases where you do have predators and they so happen to have children as well, it just makes you wonder, like, yo, like, where do you draw that line? But then again, it's kind of like, not to say I'm, not sympathizing, not empathizing, but basically what I was going to say, it's kind of like, okay, I like girls, but I got two sisters. That don't mean that I like my sisters. But I mean, again, it's like, you never know they're predators. They're weird and concocted in the mind. They might blur that line, bro. Disgusting, bro.
And I'm like, what are you thinking? And I kicked her out.
So you didn't see anything else? You just saw the marks on her face?
On her face, yeah. And she was using the restroom. So the moment she cleaned herself, the paper was full of red lipstick. So I guess she was doing.
Okay, where's that paper at? Where's the toilet paper at?
And put it on the toilet because I flushed it.
You flushed it?
I think.
Claudia wasn't the only one who witnessed the aftermath of Jamie's assault on Mila. A couple other friends were also staying the night and witnessed Claudia's discovery and chaotic aftermath. One friend was standing nearby and describes Jamie's attitude.
La Jamie, ella ¿qué te dijo?
Ella dijo, la niña quería que lo hiciera. Le dije, no es cierto, es una niña, tú eres una adulta.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I can't focus, bro. It's like the situation is so grotesque, disturbing, but it's just the words, not what she's saying, the sound, the pitch. It's just fucking music to my ears, bro. Again, not what she is saying. I'm reading the sentence, not the sentence. She could be talking about cheese pizza and Philly cheesesteak. I don't care. I don't even know where this started, bro. But Latinas, bro, it's something about them. They just do something to me, man.
Se te olvida y hasta puedo hacerte mal si me decido, pues tu amor no te...
And again, I get it. This is very inappropriate. This is not the time to be talking about this, but
Jamie had been driven
Lock
to the
in.
party by Claudia and her brother, so she left on foot. But where she is now is anyone's guess. After she was gone, Claudia's attention immediately turned to her sister.
Oh, my sister, she better get out of the house and then shower. You showered? Yes. Okay.
you got to,
Just
bro.
to get rid of the smell, or
Yes. Yeah.
okay.
My first reaction, she couldn't talk. She was crying and my first reaction was, take off your clothes, let me get you in the shower.
Wash
Because when
all
I
that
saw
off, bro.
she was using the restroom, she had a piece of toilet paper in her hands full of red lipstick. Like Jamie was starting to kiss her down her body.
Officers want to learn how Jamie even ended up at the party.
Good
and
question.
It turns out she and Claudia aren't close.
Oh.
They've known each other when they were younger and only reconnected recently.
How long have you known Jamie?
How long are you known?
I know her since like 10 years ago, but not like I know more of her sister and her mom.
Okay. How did since you're not that close to her, never, how did she come over here?
I opened Facebook like a week ago, and we add each other, and we started, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
And we started talking like 4 days ago, and then I invited her to the house, and I'm like, okay, sure. But and she came, and I was like, she was gonna spend the night here.
And that's kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I get it. Y'all was close 10 years ago, a fucking decade. Nigga, a whole lot. Clearly, a whole lot can happen within 10 years. And we just started, talking on Facebook a couple weeks ago. And now you finna spend a night at my crib? No, I don't know about that, bro.
Mila was also just spending the night, and her mom left just shortly before she was brought into the bathroom.
Oh.
Her mom is called back to the house, and EMS arrives to examine her.
So,
Wait, her mom? Not their mom? Never mind. It don't matter.
hi, this person gave her alcohol and made her smoke tobacco. Talking to her, she does kind of seem like buzzed. Yeah.
How are you feeling? I'm okay. I'm a bit nervous. That's all.
Meanwhile, a bolo is put out for Jamie. Soon, Mila and Claudia's mother arrives and gives consent to take Mila for a sexual assault exam. But before they can leave, officers get word that a woman matching Jamie's description has just been detained at an intersection nearly 2 miles away.
Wow.
You Jamie? Hey, I'm Officer Reynoso with the Albuquerque Police Department. Hey, what's your social real quick?
I don't know.
Where were you born?
And Chihuahua.
Chihuahua? Oh, okay.
Say your ass back, bruh. Oh, man. I ain't even finna go there. I was finna, you gotta go. You one of the ones, you gotta go. I'm not gonna lie. Take that shit back there. But then again, you ain't safe there, too. And them niggas don't play about that. I remember, and this was a while ago, like high school, freshman year. I remember seeing like one of them gore videos, dude. Some guy in Mexico found a PDF file, ran up to him, and offed him. While his body was on the ground, kept on shooting at him. I'm like, damn, this shit is fucking... Them niggas don't play by that shit either, though. But you can't stay here, Jamie. You can't stay here. I'm sorry.
You have a driver's license?
No.
No?
Hell no.
So why did you just tell him a different name than what you told us?
Well, that one's my first name, and I'm always just Arely.
Arely. What's your full name?
Jamie Arely Sandoval.
So I'm gonna let you know right now, when somebody in a uniform like this asks you what your name is, we want your true first name and your true last name.
Okay.
Yeah. We don't deal with middle names. We want first and last name. Okay. The one that's gonna be on the ID.
That one, what's from the I well, oh my
Then I want both of them.
Okay.
How did you get over here?
So I'm in the party with my friends,
Uh-huh.
and I'm there. Well, we have a little problem there.
This is a little problem. You got naked in front of a minor and performed sexual acts on her. It's a little problem, you said. Saying, yo, get that bitch out of here.
What's the little problem?
The one of the
Little, you're even admitting to it.
she say I'm sexy. Touch her.
Yeah, why would the little child say that?
Because, well, all the night she's talking to me, and I know she's so drunk. But she don't want me to talk to anyone.
What? How old was she?
11 years. And I'm just staying with her brother.
Jamie admits to having with Claudia and Mila's older brother earlier in the evening.
What?
Jamie admits to having with Claudia and Mila's older brother earlier.
So y'all niggas just freaked out. You just had a threesome early in the day. Early in the evening. Thank you. And you ready to go again a couple hours later? Plot twist. Not with the same two, but with the last sibling. Bitch trying to collect all the Infinity Stones. You're fucking gross, dude.
Earlier in the evening. This was prior to assaulting Mila. However, that assault isn't the only reason she's being detained.
Wow.
You know you had 4 misdemeanor warrants? Yeah. You did?
Jamie is wanted for 4 separate traffic-related
I don't know, there's a lot to read.
warrants, all from a few years prior. She's arrested for those warrants as well as criminal in the first degree and transported to the prisoner transport center before being booked into jail. However, this story is far from over.
Wow.
At her assault exam, Mila repeats what she remembers, but with the added detail that Jamie had grabbed her by the neck. In a later interview, the nurse who examined her discusses her findings with Jamie's lawyer.
I found some marks in her neck, on the frontal area on the right side of her neck.
Did you photograph those marks?
Yep, I did.
Yes.
You did? Okay.
The nurse also took...
Imagine being Jamie's lawyer. Shit, yo, at Cook. And I'm like, I get it, but it's like, yo, she admit to it. We know what she did. It's first degree. Why the fuck do you still want somebody to try and defend her? Nigga, fuck that.
Numerous swabs and a blood sample, which show Mila's blood alcohol content was 0.06%.
Oh, more cheese? The OM Cheeseburger for $11.99. Only at Applebee's.
Cheeseburger.
Love Roblox?
Roblox! I love Roblox!
Jamie ultimately faces 4 charges for her assault on Mila, 2 for criminal in the first degree, as well as false imprisonment and contributing to the delinquency of a minor. However, the prosecution later drops all but the criminal charges. Jamie pleads not guilty, and the case is set to go to trial. However, by the time pre-trial interviews are being conducted, Mila is 15, and she remembers things differently now.
I was under alcohol.
Okay. How much alcohol did you drink?
A lot for my age.
Were you drinking beer or was it something else?
It was tequila.
Okay.
Yeah, because I finished the rest of a bottle.
This is actually disgusting. Why the fuck did y'all wait 4 years to be having this conversation? If they try to use this as like, oh, well, she was drunk and yada, yada, yada. And homie, defense attorney, you are defending a PDF. Why are you trying to play this like it's game 6? Warriors and the Cavaliers. Bro, let that bitch rot, dude. What is...
Oh, they had left there in the fridge.
Okay.
And, well, there was people getting there, so there was just a bunch of alcohol everywhere. So I was just drinking whatever I could, basically.
She explains that she'd been hiding in that hallway, away from the crowd of people, when Jamie finished having sex with her brother.
That's when she walked out of the room, and I was in the hallway because I wasn't trying to get seen by my sister or anybody that was gonna get me in trouble. So then she was like, oh my goodness. And that's when she took me to the restroom, and she was telling me how great her was. And I mean, I thought she was just gonna tell me how great it was and get over it, but no, she just started kissing me.
On the stand, however, Jamie denies everything. Her story is markedly different from Mila's, which she tells in court with the help of an interpreter.
So, how long had you been in the bathroom before locked in?
So, I think maybe about a minute after I'd gone in, because I hadn't locked the door since I wasn't using the bathroom. I was just trying to fix myself up.
While she was fixing herself up, she claimed she took a piece of toilet paper to blot her red lipstick, which ended up being the piece of toilet paper Claudia saw and assumed Mila had used to wipe herself. That's when Mila came into the bathroom.
So...
Yeah, and it's pretty disturbing that this is the story that they concocted. Jamie didn't come up with this elaborate-ass scheme. It was the defense attorneys. Y'all niggas came up with this make-believe story, bro. She used the tissue paper to blot her lipstick. Why? And it just so happened to fall into Mila's hand. So how do you explain the kiss? The kisses on her face? Oh, well, she took a shower, so, you know, we can't really say for sure that's what happened. Yo, y'all niggas are crooked, dude.
Did knock to come in, or how did she get into the bathroom?
She just opened the door a little bit, and she said, I heard what you did with my brother, and then she came in.
What did you tell her?
It was just embarrassing, so we both laughed, and I said, how embarrassing that you heard that.
What happened after that?
Well, she stayed in the bathroom. She was leaning on the door, and I kept fixing my hair, and she told me that she liked women and that she liked me.
How did you respond to that?
I told her that she was crazy because I had just been with her brother and that she was just a girl.
Yeah. If you use what we heard that night, what Jamie said, oh, it was a little problem with this little girl, what the other friends at the party said that Jamie said, that she wanted it. Cap, bro. Cap, bro.
What happened afterwards?
When she lunged at me to kiss me, I tried to move her away from me to calm her down, and she said that she wanted me to give her an... And since she was so drunk, she fell to the floor, and that's when, and it was a loud thud, and that's when and the others came in, or when tried to come in.
Jamie insists that neither of their clothing was ever off, and she never touched Mila. The discrepancies are vast, and Jamie's defense attorney focuses on them in his closing argument.
What happened in this case is the story changed. When you say something different, it's not that you are forgetting, it's that you are now fabricating.
And you know, it's like, I don't even know how to feel about this defense attorney. Because, I mean, you know what you're doing, my guy. You know you're sitting up here and lying to the judge for your KD. Is it really that worth it, bro? To try and minimize and mitigate what this little girl went through? Shit.
Katie, now you're lying. I do believe that is a victim, but I don't think she's a victim of anything that my client did. I think she's a victim of the way she's being raised and the things that she's allowed to be a part of. She, we know, cannot give consent. We know that. But that's not the issue here. There was no act. She's just not telling the truth.
The prosecution, on the other hand, asserts that memory degrades and changes over time.
Yes.
And in this battle of she said, the one thing that can't be disputed is the evidence.
Oh, baby.
The results of the swabs taken during Mila's exam tell the truth. Jamie's DNA was found on Mila's area, despite...
So how the fuck that got there? Fuck, nigga. Again, I guess homie just doing his job, right?
Her having showered that night. And while no testing was done to determine whether that DNA got there from touch or saliva, the prosecution is clear. Her DNA shouldn't be there at all.
Oh, baby, it
Very
shouldn't, bro.
disturbed that defense got up here and said that is a victim of how she was raised. No, she's a victim of what she did to her. She was a victim of being put in that bathroom, being assaulted by the defendant. But let's go put the blame on the rest of the family. Okay, so we're going to say nothing happened because of little tiny inconsistencies that have no bearing in this case? No. What the issue is what she did to her. Is not a victim of her family situation. That is disgusting to even bring that up. She is a victim of assault by the hands of this defendant. She can sit there and smile all she wants. She knows she did this. She has no way to explain how that DNA got there.
The jury is sent to deliberate, but return deadlocked the next day.
Deadlocked?
The judge declares a mistrial with the caveat that the prosecution has the right to try Jamie again, which they do. In 2025, Jamie is found guilty on both counts of criminal...
I see that nigga Hoogaruma was in the courtroom, huh?
Everyone come back.
Shout out my nigga, bro.
Of a child under 13. She's sentenced to 18 years on both counts to be served concurrently. The sentence is mitigated to 15 years due to her age and lack of criminal record. According to court documents, she will be appealing her sentence.
Damn, you look like you've been there already for 15 years. 18 years concurrently. Nigga, that's 36. And you was already pushing 30. Hey, you deserve that shit though. Fuck, nigga. Wow. But hey, that'll be it for the reaction. Ooh, you see it, you know what I'm saying? I actually need to go hit the gym. It's 2:10 p.m. Bro, I got a crazy shift coming up tomorrow. I gotta be at work at 2:30 in the morning. That means I gotta go to bed by like 6 p.m. today. Wallahi. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed it, let me know what you thought in the comments down below. Y'all take it easy, y'all stay safe, and I'm gonna see y'all in the next one.